Bismillah. I, Ahmed Abdullahi, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Okay, then you'll table your responses.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I hereby table the following documents before the committee. Management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on County Executive of Wajir County for the year 2024-2025. Management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the receiver of revenue statements for the County Executive of Wajir County for the financial year 2024-2025. Management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the County Revenue Fund for the County Executive of Wajir County for the financial year 2024-2025.
Auditor General, can you confirm that you have gone through what has been tabled and you are in a position to guide us today?
Thank you, Chair. We received the documents in good time. We have gone through and you are ready to proceed in this setting. Thank you, Chair.
Clerk of the Senate.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I can confirm we received the documentation in time as per the letter inviting the Wajir County Executive to appear before this meeting today. Thank you.
Then I believe we should be able to proceed. And just to reiterate, the resolution of the House on the 31st of March 2026. On the 31st of March 2026, the House sat to deliberate on the report of the County Public Accounts Committee on the financial statements of various county executives, including Wajir County. In the case of Wajir County, the House adopted the report of the Auditor General as is, because the Governor Wajir did not get an opportunity to appear before the committee. There were instances where the House recommended a fine, a personal fine on the Governor. The clerk has clarified to me that in the case of Wajir, because the Governor had written a letter seeking postponement, the House did not impose that fine. The House also recommended that the Governor Wajir appear before this committee within 30 days to outline the measures taken to close the non-conformances highlighted by the Auditor General. That is the reason why we are here. The audit is already done. The Auditor General did their audit, tabled their reports. The committee had 90 days to review the reports and make a recommendation. And today, we are not doing an audit. And that's why we are a bit baffled by the huge volumes of documents in front of us. We can barely see each other because of the huge files that are here. So I think let's go into the report of the Auditor General and look at the issues that were raised and get the position of the county government on how far they have gone in closing them. So, Auditor General, we'll start with the report on the county executive. Time allowing, we'll go to the report on the receiver of revenue. You may tell us what your opinion was on the financial statements of the executive.
Thank you, Chair. For the auditor's report for the Wajir County Executive for the financial year 2024-2025, the Auditor General issued a qualified opinion. Thank you, Chair.
Can we go to the basis of that opinion?
Thank you, Chair. Based for qualified opinion, the person is unsupported use of goods and services.
You may read your finding because it is what you reported that we adopted.
Yes.
Yeah, so read it, then we ask the Governor to outline the measures taken to mitigate.
The statement of financial performance reflects use of goods and services expenditure of Kenya shillings 2,549,563,869 as disclosed in Note 8 to the federal statements. Included in the expenditure are payments of Kenya shillings 551,954,862 for specialized materials and services, out of which an amount of Kenya shillings 172,953,529 relates to expenditure on pharmaceutical drugs, non-pharmaceuticals, dressings, and lab reagents from Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA. However, the expenditure was not supported by way of requisitions from the respective health facilities, inspection and acceptance committee reports, and source ledgers cards for the drugs supplied to the facilities. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of expenditure on pharmaceuticals, drugs, non-pharmaceuticals, dressing and lab reagents of Kenya shillings 172,953,529 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, as is a procedure, you'll read out your response, and then senators will ask questions, if any.
Chairman, during the financial year under review, the county executive procured medical supplies and pharmaceuticals from the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA, for distribution to various county facilities, including Wajir County Referral Hospitals, sub-county hospitals, health centers, dispensaries. KEMSA was responsible for the last mile delivery of the medical commodities in accordance with the approved order levels of each facility. All health facilities generate their commodity requisitions through the approved KEMSA Logistics Management Information Systems, ELMIS, an electronic ordering platform customized according to the level of care, including dispensaries, health centers, level 4 and level 5 hospitals. The facilities generated requests are reviewed and verified by the respective sub-county health products and technologies HPT officers before being submitted to the county pharmacist. The County Health Products and Technologies Department subsequently reviews, consolidates, and uploads the verified orders to the KEMSA ELMIS portal. In addition, the County Pharmacy Department consolidates all facility orders and prepares a single requisition letter to KEMSA, thereby ensuring effective coordination, accountability, and traceability of all medical supplies, all medical commodities supplied to county health facilities. Upon consolidation of the orders, the county pharmacist generates a pro forma invoice. Based on this invoice, a local purchase order LPO is issued to KEMSA to facilitate order processing, picking, and delivery. Further, stores records and supporting documentation, including delivery notes, invoices, payment vouchers, S13 forms, stores ledger cards, and S11 issue notes, were maintained at the respective health facilities and have been availed for audit review. These records provide evidence of the receipt, custody, distribution, and issuance of medical supplies to the intended facilities, thereby promoting transparency, accountability, and effective inventory management. The county executive has provided an annexed, at Annex 1.0, comprising the following supporting documents: delivery notes, S13 forms, S11 issue notes, store ledger cards, distribution lists, and inspection and acceptance reports and certificates. Evidence, or photo evidence of training of the facility in charge as well. The attached documents substantiate the receipt, storage, distribution, and utilization of the medical supplies delivered by KEMSA to the respective county health facilities. Steps taken: the management has directed the relevant departments to strengthen documentation, record keeping, and inventory management controls to ensure audit queries do not occur in subsequent financial years. The management has designated stores officers to ensure compliance with supplies, requisitions, and receipts. The management has capacity built the facility in charges. Thank you.
Which is Annex 1 referred to? Is it a single document?
Just say what it is.
This one? This is Annex 1. Auditor General, have you gone through Annex 1? And what is your opinion or comment on it.
Thank you, Chair. We have gone through Annex 1, and while we were going through Annex 1, we concentrated on the issues which were listed in our audit report, which included requisition from respective health facilities. This requisition from respective health facilities, through the response, we were able to be made understand that the requisitions is done through a system, and therefore the requisitions now, which was subjected for our verification, was now a consolidated requisition at the county pharmacist. Then we had also asked for the inspection and acceptance. We verified the inspection and acceptance for those 2 deliveries because there were 2 batches. And then there was also the issue of stores ledger accounts. For the store ledger accounts, there are 67 health facilities in Wajir County, and on average, these store ledger accounts document various items from KEMSA, which on average are like that 62. So what was given to us during verification was a sample of original ledger accounts, and we looked at that sample to see how the items were received at facilities and how they were issued, and that's the issue which we addressed here in our audit report. Thank you.
So, in summary?
In summary, we are seeing we can see that this issue is partially addressed. We are only left with the issue now of the confirmation of what they are doing, so that this issue cannot continue or recur in our audit.
I want us to be very, direct and deal with this thing quickly. 172 million worth of pharmaceutical drugs, non-pharmaceuticals, etc., were procured from KEMSA. So that's the order initiation. And the county has explained the process. It is automated. Our concern is, actually, the governor, you have captured it in your response. The last paragraph on page 2, just before the county executive has provided Annex 1, our concern is to get evidence of the receipt, custody, distribution, and issuance of medical supplies to the intended facilities. That is a concern. I don't think there is much scope for monkey business when ordering from KEMSA. But we have seen situations where the supplies come from KEMSA and they're distributed to facilities which are owned by private persons rather than public facilities. So that is our concern that we need to address ourselves to. The 172 million worth of pharmaceuticals and non-pharmaceuticals. Where is the evidence that they were distributed to 10, 20, or 12 public facilities? And, in that distribution, does it account for the 172? I think that's what we need to focus on. Is it in Annex 1? Sure. Take us to that, because if we clear our minds that the drugs were taken to the respective hospitals, then we don't have to waste time on the KEMSA order and system processes.
Chair, first of all, I'd like to correct the auditor that it's not 67, it's 167 facilities.
167 facilities?
Yes. The ones that are on the KEMSA supply. Our registered facilities are 174, but the ones that had gotten into the KEMSA system by that time, because we keep building new facilities, 167, not 67. Number 2, this KEMSA system is, the way it's designed is foolproof, in that when you make your requisition and you build that requisition from the facility, every facility actual requisitions online. And the system itself, at the point of the county pharmacist, tells you what KEMSA has. It also gives you what is called a non-supply list, which is what they don't have. So for the things that they have is what we raise a pro forma, and there is no intervention between the KEMSA stores and the facility. It's last mile delivery. It goes directly to the facility. And the KEMSA person who delivers, the truck driver or whoever is delivering, goes with delivery notes which have to be signed in triplicate. One delivery note stays at the facility. One is sent to the county pharmacists, which then is passed on to county treasury through the chief officer for payment. And the last one goes back to KEMSA. And in each of the facilities, we also have what is called state stock ledgers, which are the bin cards for every single product, showing what has come in and what has, and all these other supporting documentations as well. So what we've done is to then print that entire file of all those, what are they called, and bin cards and other receiving and issuing documents, and that's why the bundle is that big.
Okay.
But from a risk perspective,
through the chair, I mean,
Senator Morgan?
yes, if the system is that organized, Governor, what I'm wondering, the query here says that expenditure was not supported by way of requisitions from the respective health facilities. There was no inspection and acceptance committee reports. There was no ledger card. So if the system is seamless, the way you are indicating, why weren't the documents availed to the auditor? Because the auditor, I've heard him say that this issue was only partially addressed.
Governor?
yeah.
Chair, before,
Okay,
before
let's take from
Governor
Senator Dulo.
responds, my question goes to the auditor. If I heard you very well, you have said the query has partially been responded to. So maybe it's good if you can clarify for us to be able to understand the process, or rather the response. Tell us what has partially been addressed and what is outstanding, so that we address what is outstanding and also get a way forward on it.
Okay, before, I think, let's get the governor's answer to Senator Morgan's question, then we come back to the auditor.
You know, Senator, the opinion belongs to the auditor. So for me, all I can do is to supply what he says has not been supplied. But that's how our system works. And it works uniformly for everyone. Yeah. So it's, I think that question
So
can only be answered by
trust,
the auditor.
so documents were given.
Governor, that cannot be the auditor's question. This is a question raised by the auditor on operations of your entity.
Yes.
It is a matter that was raised in the draft certificate, in the exit meetings, which I want to believe happened. If they are not provided at the time of audit, it cannot be the responsibility of the auditor. We must be fair to the institutions that we work with.
Chair,
I think there has to be another explanation for why it was not provided, but that explanation cannot come from the auditor. Senator Adulo?
yeah, Chair, maybe the position of the auditor on my query can clarify certain things so that we can.
Thank you, Chair. My concern, my outstanding concern here is on the steps taken so that this issue cannot recur.
Sorry, what I have said, you said the query has been partially addressed.
Yes.
And it's not fully addressed to your satisfaction. What is outstanding that has not been provided to satisfy you as far as this query is concerned?
And who is this person who did not give you documents? Who is this person who did not supply you with a document? Because you know what the law says.
Thank you, Chair. As far as the audit issue is concerned,
Can you put the mic closer to yourself?
as far as the audit issue is concerned, the 3 sets of documents which we expected to be given during the time of the audit have been given after the time of the audit.
Sorry?
After.
We are concerned with what you have put on ink and paper. You say they were not supported when you did the audit.
Yes.
My question is, who is this officer responsible who did not supply you with the documents? Because we are dealing with an audit report that is now before us that says the expenditure was not supported by way of Documentation.
The responsibility of submission of these documents, particularly this relating to procurement, is the responsibility of the accounting officer, medical, the Department of Health Services.
Now, let's do this. Let's, because we must deal with this matter. Governor, what are your top 4 facilities? If you can mention them. It does not need to be by revenue, but just mention some 4 randomly.
The top 4 facilities would of necessity be the sub-county hospital. So we have the Wajir County Referral Hospital. We have Habaswein Level 4 Hospital. We have Grif 2 Level 4 Hospital. We have Eldas Level 4, Butte Level 4 Hospital.
So we can, if you take Aldas, you said Aldas Level 4.
Yeah, for instance.
Can we use that as a test to confirm that Aldas Level 4 received, to provide, to confirm that there was evidence of receipt, custody, distribution, and issuance of medical supplies to Aldas Level 4 Hospital? I cannot see that far. I'm not that young. No. You can't cross there. Just describe what you are flashing. I believe it should be in our files.
Yes, Chair, it is in the annex, huh? In the annex 1, yes. So we have categorized.
Annex 1, on which page?
Chair, in the first annex, we have the requisition letter. Then appointment letters, inspection appointment committee.
Where are you reading?
Look
And
at
I think next time, make sure that you paginate your document so that it's easier to follow.
Take this color.
The green that says requisition letter.
Requisition.
Yeah.
Then you go next. Appointment letter for inspection and acceptance committee.
For Hansard purposes, just to introduce yourself.
My name is Abdullahi Hassan, Director Supply Chain.
Okay.
So next is appointment letter for inspection and acceptance committee.
Is that specific to Aldas?
The appointment, yes. You know, we have 6 sub-counties in Wajir.
No, we are just saying we want to test one facility to confirm that the requisition was done and the order was fulfilled, and if that evidence is there, we can just take one sample.
Chair, if you look at the appointment letter for inspection and acceptance committee, the first letter is for Elders, Wajir West and Wajir North sub-county hospitals. That is the appointment.
Okay.
Then next is inspection and acceptance for the same. It's there. The inspection committee signed the certificate for Elders, Wajir West and Wajir North sub-county. Then you go to stock control cards. That is the bin cards, which act as a control point for us. Then you move ahead. There is red, is this pinkish or this Elders sub-county now? Move from the stock control cards all the way to the red. Yes, Elders, the store ledgers. The store ledgers shows how goods were received in the stores.
Just a minute. On the inspection and acceptance committee report.
Yes.
You've got inspection and acceptance certificate.
Yes, for 3 Elders, Wajir West and Wajir North, and Wajir East.
What's a contract delivery due date?
For the inspections.
On that inspection and acceptance certificate.
Contract due date is 3rd June 2024.
Is that within the period under review?
Yes. The file
2024, 2025. When does it start? On 1st of July, 2024. Yes. This is a contract of the prior financial year.
Yes, but it was paid in that financial year, the auditing.
Okay.
Yes.
So, you've got 87 million on one inspection and acceptance certificate, 85 million in the next one.
And totaling to 172 in the audit query.
So, auditor, the 172 related to this specific facility, or it was the 167 facilities across Wajir?
Thank you, Chair. The 172 related to consolidated order for various facilities, which could be 167 facilities within Wajir.
So that gentleman is explaining one facility, 87 plus 85. Is it then a fact that that fully accounts for the 172?
Yes, Chair.
So in your view, it was only one facility?
No, this is not one facility. This is for Wajir County.
In your inspection and acceptance certificate, you've got two.
Yes, Chair.
One value of supply is 87, the other one is 85. Is that the requisition from KEMSA?
Chair, the 85 million is for Elders, Wajir West and Wajir North.
That's the requisition coming from KEMSA?
Yes.
Which we don't have a problem with, because I think, as the governor has explained, it's fairly foolproof. Now, the evidence of distribution.
It's there, Chair.
Where is it?
County.
Where is it?
Per sub-county. For example, Allah sub-county.
Yeah, just take us there.
Red, they look at this reddish, Allah sub-county.
Where would it be on your, because you've got a lot of pages. How do we get there?
Immediately, you move from stock control cards, that's the bin cards. Then the next, you go to, we have now divided them into sub-counties. Allahs, we started with Allahs.
Okay, so explain to us.
Chair, in Allah sub-county, we have annexed ledgers and counter-received vouchers, S13.
Officer, you can explain that?
Can explain the first document, which is something what is presented.
What do you say?
The first document. The first one.
What added dispensary is in Allah sub-county. Yes.
So, yeah, the first column there is the date, yeah? Okay. So if you link that with the inspection, so the inspection happened on 3rd of June. So you are saying
for Wadada it happened 5th. The S13 it is 5th.
So what's that there? 100
June.
shillings.
Yeah.
In that column, there is 100 shillings there.
This is per drug. The price cost for per drug.
So what was being delivered?
There's unit cost, there's quantity, and there's value.
And the drug, what's the drug? What is the drug? I just want to understand that form.
Officer?
Just see at the top of the form, it's indicated there. Adrenaline, it's at the top of the form.
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
Adrenaline 1 mg stroke ml.
Yes.
So the quantity is what? Have you understood?
The quantities, they are 10, they are written 10 in number.
10
in number. The drug is adrenaline 1 mg ml.
Okay, officer, going down to total receipts, less total issues, that stock control part, it's all blank. Should it be blank? The bottom of that particular the one Senator Morgan is referring to? mean, just tell us what is the authenticity of what you have given us? And authenticity would mean signed by somebody, owned by somebody.
Yes.
Because this can be filled under a tree.
No, Chair.
No, just show me how you authenticate this for us to take it as evidence.
First and foremost, it has a serial number. Look at the serial number. We're at the dispensary.
I don't think serial number authenticates. Authentication means the person making the entry takes responsibility by signing.
Yes.
Where is a signature so that we know who's the person responsible here?
It's called Arafat.
Where is that?
Arafat.
Where is that indicated?
Look at the receiving officer, beside the signature.
Where?
Put the S13, look at the S13.
No.
Don't take us to S13 because you have separated them, isn't it?
Yes.
That's why you've got your S13 is a counter receipt voucher.
Yes.
Yeah, so before we go to the counter receipt voucher, we are on the ledgers.
Ledgers.
How do you authenticate the ledgers? Because none of it is signed. What we have are just entries, handwritten entries.
Chair, ledgers are not signed.
Sorry?
Ledgers are not signed.
So how do you authenticate? How do you authenticate them?
Authenticate this because every facility has one attached ledger book with a serial number.
So, if I may ask, was this the same person filling all this?
No, it's not the same person. It's not the same person.
Was I thought it's one person because the handwriting looks like it's just one person.
Okay,
So
then maybe you need to relate it to the S13. Maybe it will help us understand. What we are trying to dispel is any notion that maybe some team would sit under a tree and fill forms. So your responsibility is to confirm that that is not what happened.
Chair, I'm under oath and I can confirm.
You're not under oath, it's a governor under oath.
Sorry.
Your confirmation is by the documents here. Just take us to the document that gives us that assurance. As I said, we are not going to look at the 167 facilities. We'll just pick one and run a test on it.
For this, for Adi Chair, if you look at the receiving officer, just a name with the person who received, signature, designation, and date.
That is on the S13.
S13, yes.
So all the S13s you have tendered there for elders, what do they total to? How much of the 172 million was received by elders?
Of elders. The total elders received is 15,300,000.
Where is that in your records?
In the summary.
Where is the summary?
They did not request yet, Chair.
You knew you were coming here to provide evidence that 172 million worth of pharmaceuticals was distributed to facilities properly. That's the issue. We are not coming to question whether the procurement from KEMSA was proper. That's not the issue. And I mean, if you are to focus on that, would be pedantic. Our concern is that the 172 million was received in public hospitals and was not diverted to private hospitals. That's what we are trying to establish. And I think the governor must have understood that well, because in his written response, he has said that there are records that provide evidence of receipt, custody, distribution, and issuance of medical supplies to the intended facilities. So just speaking elders, you are saying that in total it was 15 million, yes. And we are asking where is that evidence in the file?
Chair, I was relying with the audit query, which lump sum put 172 million. Then in that 172 million, we had two vouchers, which is in the inspection, one is 89 and the other one is 85. So I was trying to support in line with the query.
We don't have a big problem with the distribution and the arrangement with KEMSA.
Yes.
Our problem is, did the facilities receive the pharmaceuticals? And the pharmaceuticals they received, do they tie to the 172 million that came from KEMSA? It's as simple as that.
Yes.
So give us that evidence, give us that assurance, and we can move on.
Chair, the evidence is in front of you. we have the ledgers, we have the S13, we have the appointment letter for the inspection, we have the requisition, and the inspection certificate signed by the appointed committee members.
Auditor General, because I said when we started that we are not doing the audit today.
Yes.
The audit ended when the OAG brought the report on 31st of December. Can you give us an assurance that the 167 facilities in Wajir received medication pharmaceuticals, and the pharmaceuticals they received the total ties to the 172 that came from KEMSA? Are you able to give that assurance, or do we ask the county to provide that information?
Chair, as the auditors, we can only give what is called reasonable assurance, but not absolute assurance. So maybe I'll pass the ball to the governor. Thank you, Chair.
Governor?
And Chair, I've explained the process of consolidating requisitioning. And once the requisitions are consolidated, an LSO is given for what is required of KEMSA in totality, but with a breakdown of how much should go directly to every facility. So the packaging takes that into account. And that's why it's a last mile delivery. Once that reaches there, the KEMSA person also, because has to demand for payment, has to ensure that the facility in charge signs a delivery note. It is not expected, it's not rationally expected, and I must say this, that the bin cards or the store ledgers for every facility, because these are not things you carry away, they are per product and they are kept at the facility, will be kept at the headquarters. They are at the facility. So it's up to the auditor to say, I need proof of this delivery for this product, for this facility. Then we provide the delivery note from the facility so requested, because you're talking about 167 facilities that have received products directly. And if they want to know at what stage of consumption there is, then we give copies of the bin cards. So when we saw that comment, what my people did is now they asked the store people, the facility in charges in every facility, to send the bin cards of every single facility. So I think unless the auditor says, I need this particular thing in this particular form, this is our response. I don't know how else to explain.
It is not what the auditor wants, it is what the Senate wants. What the Senate requires is clear evidence that 172 million worth of pharmaceuticals and non-pharmaceuticals that were procured from KEMSA reached the intended facilities. That's all. That's our concern. Sitting here, we have seen cases where in a very foolproof exercise, counties procure, counties get medication, but that medication goes to private hospitals. That is the suspicion that we must allay. And so what you must do, as your officer says, that there is no summation of deliveries to the respective facilities, you must provide a summation that accounts for that 172 that will then be supported by the ledgers and the S13s that have been attached here. Sitting as a Senate, that's the most we can do. We cannot go through every single S13 or every single ledger. So provide a summation of the deliveries out of the 172, the facilities that were taken to, and how much each facility received. And then we'll ask the Auditor General to just run a test to confirm, and we can close this matter. Governor, I hope that is clear. It would be useful.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah.
I think what I'll ask my people to do, because delivery notes was not one of the things that was asked for by the auditor, why not just get every single signed off delivery note that added up to those two LSOs and provide it to the auditors?
Yeah, provide to the Senate through the auditor. Please
Senate through the auditor.
Remember, it is the Senate asking. It is not the
Obliged.
So I think that should be a very straightforward exercise where you have a schedule, if it's 167 facilities or 50 facilities, indicating the quantities and amounts received, and then they can be supported by the ledgers and the S13s. Is that clear? And that's doable. Auditor General?
That's okay, Chairman. We'll comply with the directive. Thank you.
Let me ask Senator Cherargei to go on record.
Cherargei Kiprotich is my name, Senator of the Republic of Kenya, representing the great people of Nandi. And Chair, my apologies, I was in parliamentary board meeting. Mine is just, we have waited for this meeting for very long, having the governor refused to appear on several occasions. Mine is, Governor, you are contradicting yourself. If you read your own response, page number 3, steps taken. I thought these are already steps that we have taken. Because you have said the management has directed the relevant department to strengthen issue of record keeping, document inventory, management controls. So I thought the one you are saying has already been done. So which is the position? Are you running away from your written submissions that you are going to undertake in future, or it has been done? That is page number 3 of your management responses, where you have put A, then the management has told officers, because I'm seeing the chair, you are directing that the OG retake. I thought they have already taken because it is written steps taken. So I thought they have already done. They are giving feedback on the matter.
Okay, I think I gave you an opportunity to go on record, but you could benefit also from some of the conversations you have had prior to your arrival. I think we have gone through all those issues of documentation, the gaps, the complexities, but what we are concerned about now is accounting for 172 million and making sure that that 172 million went to public hospitals rather than private hospitals, or it was actual delivery rather than phantom deliveries. So I think let's leave it at that, Honorable Senator. When we are reviewing the responses, we'll also be able to consider whether the steps taken will close the gaps in future. Senator Lelegwe?
Chair, I wanted to ask whether the county government included all the S13 forms for every facility, because when I sample Aldas Sub-County Hospital, there are about 4 S13 forms, and when you do the total of the amount of medicine they received, it's actually less than 1 million shillings. So I don't know if this is a sample of S13 for Eldas Sub-County, or it is all S13 forms for Eldas Sub-County Hospital.
Does Annex 1 have everything, or it's a sample?
It's a sample. Yeah,
Governor?
it's a sample. And Chair, taking the questions one by one.
I think respond to Senator Lelegwe's. I've addressed the introductory remarks by Senator Cherargei, so don't go there. The question is just direct. Is Annex 1 a sample, or it's the entire universe?
It's a sample.
Okay, so let's go by Pareto's principle, where they say 20% of facilities generally contribute to 80% of the problems. So in that summation that we have already agreed will have to be done, of course, in the summation, you'll have to account for the entire 172, but the auditors can pick samples, maybe from the top 4 or 5 facilities, and then that can put our mind at rest.
Okay.
Okay.
And Chair, it's not unusual for some facilities not to ask for much, depending on how much they're already holding. So then when we're making requisitioning, we ask them what they need, what has run out of stock. So, and depending on the utilization in the intervening period, some facilities will ask for more than others. That's why we have one consolidated requisition to KEMSA. But we ensure KEMSA in its packaging just gives every facility what they requested and takes them directly to the facility.
Okay, honorable members, we have given those directions on that matter.
Governor, I don't know whether you are the ones who designed this document, receipt and issues. Are you the ones who designed? Because you are the ones.
Standard documents from government printers here.
Oh, it's a standard document.
Okay, I think going forward, because these processes, as you said, there's an automated process where you've got the KEMSA LMIS. The question would be, at what point would we be able to automate it from end to end, such that even at the facilities, instead of having these pieces of paper that generate audit queries, everything can be in the system? It might not be the question for Wajir. It could be a question that we raise with KEMSA so that it can apply to all the 47 counties. But I want us to move on to the next matter because you've already given directions on that.
I've seen the ledgers that are here, but it was filled by one person, but they are not giving us the totals. If these ledgers, what was the essence without specification, because it has just been written and they have attached with forger. So does it mean the governor will give further documentation, or these are the ones that we'll rely on?
I think I had the same problem, and I pressed the governor on the authenticity of those ledgers, and they are explaining that the ledgers are not signed, but they must be read alongside the S13s. So, Auditor General, once we have the summation, please do that. I had a similar concern as Senator Cherargei, so it's a valid observation, but it's already been addressed. Let's make some progress. Go to now issue number 2, expenditure relating to Wajir municipality.
Thank you, Chair. During the year under review, the county executive made payments amount to Kenya shillings 199,460,538 for salaries, goods, works, and services related to Wajir municipality. The municipality has separate management and structure, hence should carry its operations separately and independently from the county executive to facilitate accountability of its own funds. Management did not provide justifiable reasons for the failure to transfer the funds to the municipality to execute its operations. In the circumstances, the accuracy and regularity of expenditure amount to Kenya shillings 199,460,538 incurred on behalf of the municipality could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, you may respond.
Mr. Chairman, Wajir Municipality is an independent county entity established and governed in accordance with the applicable legal framework, with its own municipal board and management team responsible for its day-to-day operations. The county executive is progressively facilitating transfer of operational autonomy to the municipality to ensure full compliance with the governing legal and institutional requirements. To support the transition towards full administrative and financial independence, the county executive is currently engaging with the State Department for Public Service and Human Capital for the establishment of a separate integrated payroll and personnel database for Wajir municipality. Upon approval and operationalization of the IPPD system, the municipality will be able to independently manage its payroll and personnel functions. In the subsequent financial year, not the one under review, but the one 2025-2026, the county executive transferred the approved budget allocations relating to the use of goods and services and development expenditure to Wajir municipality to facilitate the implementation of its mandate and operational activities. However, it's only the compensation to employees that continues to be processed and paid by the county executive on behalf of the municipality, pending the completion of the payroll transition process, which is pending the separation of the IPPD data. Further, management has initiated engagement with the State Department for Public Service and Human Capital Development to facilitate the establishment of a separate IPPD for the municipality and ensure full autonomy in its payroll administration. The county executive has attached Annex 2, being the correspondence addressed to the State Department for Public Service and Human Capital Development regarding the establishment of a separate IPPD system for Wajir municipality. Management remains committed to finalizing the transition process and ensuring that similar audit queries do not recur in the future financial years. Thank you.
Appendix 2. Annex 2, you refer to Annex 2 as the correspondences. Now, first of all, because these files are crowding us, this 2A was with relation to the first query. No, just I want to clear these tables so we know what should be on the table.
2A and B.
This 2A was with respect to the 172.
No. 172 is Annex 1.
So this Annex 2A relates to this matter of the municipality.
Item number 3.
Item number 3 on unsupported transfers to health facilities. You see, Governor, you'd have avoided this expenditure. This is very heavy expenditure on matters that could have been addressed at the county level. So I hope that in the next audit, we'll not be coming with truckloads of documents to the Senate. So which one is Annex 2 out of this? Is it a smaller document?
Let's go to Annex 1, booklet 1, number 2, the last page. Number 2.
The last one, it's just a one-pager.
Just one letter, yes, to the DP Center.
Okay. In my understanding of the governor's response, he generally agrees with the observation of the Auditor General and talks of measures taken. Governor, did I get you right that you are not disputing the observation?
Chair, we are not disputing the observation, and in fact, subsequent to that fiscal year under review 2024-2025, for fiscal year 2025-2026, we have given them autonomy over their expenditure, recurrent expenditure, and their development expenditure, save for payroll, which we continue to pay until the separation of data is done, because the payroll data is centrally controlled at the State Department, until the State Department then creates a separate database which lifts the employees of the municipality from our consolidated payroll to a separate payroll. And then we'll give them their money for payroll as well, and they pay. But as of now, as we speak today, they run their development budget and they run all their operational recurrent expenditure except IPPD, which is consolidated together with the county, and we have initiated correspondence to split. Thank you.
Do they generate their own financial statements, or did they generate financial statements in that year?
They generate their own financial statements, and what we do for them is regarded as a donation in grant, and we appear before CPIC for county, for municipality audits.
So that you see, the problem is that the 199 has been charged on the executive rather than on the municipality, isn't it? That's the issue here. Ideally, it should have been charged on the municipality.
Yes, but for the municipality, when they show their financial statements, they will show both an income of 199 being a grant for the payroll and an expenditure of the same.
So, Auditor General, you have said in the circumstances the accuracy and regularity of the expenditure incurred on behalf of the municipality could not be confirmed. In terms of regularity, the county has explained the circumstances. What about the accuracy? What assurance do you give us that the 199 million was used prudently?
The 199 million, which relates to, or during that time, which related to payment of salaries, was audited from the county executive side. And the same amount, where we have the breakdown of goods and services, was still audited from the county executive side. So what appears in the municipality financial statement is just a disclosure or collaboration.
So speak English, Auditor. In my mind, you need to give me the assurance that the 199 that was spent on the executive side for municipal goods, services, and salaries, there is no double charge on the other side.
We can give that assurance, Chair.
You have that assurance, or you'll need to check?
We have that assurance, because if we had that issue of double charge, we would have raised it.
Okay, fine. So we shall deal with the issues of regularity and keep in view the steps that the county has highlighted that they are taking, and ensure that this matter, maybe save for the salaries, can be resolved or addressed in the subsequent financial year. Let me allow Senator Mofaya and Senator Sifuna to go on record.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Senator Mwenda Gataya Mofaya Tharaka-Nithi, member of this committee.
Thank you, Chair and Governor. Karibu to Nairobi. My name is Edwin Sifuna, Senator Nairobi. I'm still a member of this committee. Chair, apologies, I've come late. The Governor of Nairobi was before the Finance Committee. I have had a terrible experience there and gained a new appreciation for you and how we conduct ourselves at this committee. Thank you.
You are rightfully here as a member of the Senate and as a member of this committee, so you do not need to re-emphasize your presence. But karibu.
Chair, he forgot to add that he is proud of you as SG for being the ODM member and chairing the committee very well. Chair, maybe just a follow-up on the, I've seen annex on the one on the letter written by the governor or to request for IPPD, although I know it changed. I've seen at number 7 on employment costs. So, Governor, does it mean under the one you are requesting in municipality, does it mean all through the chair, all employees are in permanent and pensionable under Wajir municipality? Because I can see you are paying basic wages of temporary employees of 68,106,027. So what is the status of the employees? Because how many are they you are requesting? You have not indicated in your attachment, Chair, and whether all of them are on PNP or how many are temporary. Because I know mostly municipalities sometimes use temporary employees or employees that are on contract. So can he distinguish, because he has just written a general letter to the State Department for Public Service and Human Capital Development. So can he clear that? Because I've seen in note number 7.
Governor, could you provide that clarity?
Chair, what you responded to was the question as asked by the auditor, so that may require supplementary information to be sought. But why we wrote to IPPD is because the information we need them to separate is what's on IPPD. What's on council or manual is in-house.
Senator Cherargei?
Do you mean in-house?
It's not with them, it's with us.
Order, Governor.
Governor, I've just asked a very simple question.
Senator Cherargei.
A simple answer.
Senator Cherargei.
Governor is becoming arrogant.
Governor, I am the chair of this meeting.
Yes.
And please, let's process all the responses and all the communication through the chair. So, Senator
Chair,
Cherargei.
that's my clarity, and the governor should stop gaslighting some of us. I'm not in the mood today. Chair, I've asked a very simple question through the chair. You have written a letter to request IPPD numbers for permanent. I'm just asked a simple question. In this municipality, how many employees are in PNP and how many are either temporary or casual? Because in note number 7, out of 4.1 billion that you are spending on your employees, 68.1 million is basic wages for temporary employees. That's the clarity I needed through the chair.
Okay, Governor, I think let's go to the issues that are mathematical and accounting.
Chair, let me start with why we wrote the letter to IPPD, because for staff that are permanent and pensionable, they are on the IPPD database, and we're asking for a separation of that database. As to how many are casual and how many are permanent, that's detail which we didn't come with because it's not part of the query. We can supply that. Thank you.
Okay, honorable members, I think we have bigger problems in the report. Let's make progress. We will keep this in view and confirm that those steps highlighted have been implemented in the 24-25 report. The next one again relates to health facilities and supported transfers to health facilities. Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. The settlement of facility performance reflects transfers to other government entities of Kenya shillings 1,749,535,474 as disclosed in note 9 to the financial statements. The expenditure includes current grants to government agencies and other levels of government, amount of Kenya shillings 301,146,792, out of which an amount of Kenya shillings 12,706,500 was transferred to to health facilities, including dispensaries and health centers, which were not clustered as level 4 hospitals. However, expenditure returns, including cash books, ledgers, payment vouchers, and procurement documents from the health facilities in support of the transfers were not presented for audit.
Okay, now, when we did our brief earlier, Auditor General, you indicated that the concern that you had raised there has been addressed. Is that the position?
Yes, that is our position, Chair.
And we asked whether you can provide visibility on the 12 million and give us an assurance that this facility level 1 got 2 million, this one got 3 million. You have that information?
We have that information. We are able to get it from our system. We have that.
So then, Governor, I'm trying to be quite efficient because by 2:30 we are going to the chamber. We take it that this 2A and 2B is evidence to support the 12 million?
Yes, sir.
And then 3 as well? Because...
No, it's only 2A, 2B, and cash flow.
But the governor's response refers to Annex 3. I could make him read it, but the auditor says that the matter has been since supported. So just tell us, are we relying on 2A, 2B, or on 3?
Chair, 2A is written, the question number is number 3, and supported transfer to health facilities.
Yeah, Chair, Annex 3 is in booklet 2A.
No, Governor, I'm trying to help you. You see, if I tell you to read this, it will take us 5 minutes. I just want us to have on record the relevant annexure that we shall refer to when making our recommendation. So is it Annex 3 or Annex 2? Annex 2A?
No, it's Annex 3, but it's in that booklet, because the booklet says 2A. It's inside that booklet 2A. That's how I understand it. Annex 3 is actually in.
But we are in 2A, we are not looking at it.
You see, it says there, what's in there is unsupported transfers to health facilities. That's the query it's addressing.
And then down there?
The booklet is 2A. This booklet is labeled 2A, but the annexure that's in there is 3.
Where is that? You know, you are causing unnecessary confusion. It would have been easy to amend your response to refer to Annex 2A and 2B. Isn't it? Because 2A and 2B supports the 12 million.
Because we have 2A, but there is no 3. Annex 3 refers.
Annex 3 refers to voided payments, etc., etc. Let's just get, because I want to get these files off the table.
Yeah. Okay,
so
so
you know
it's in 2A.
2A and 2B.
2B, yeah.
Yeah, so all these 4 reams of paper you came with to Nairobi was completely unnecessary and very wasteful, because they explained 12 million, which ought to have been done at the county. So, Governor, you must rein in on your people, because I do not think that it is a very good use of the time of the Senate to go through 150 pages to justify an expenditure of 12 million.
Chair, I'm actually struggling to see you and to catch your eye whenever I want to say something.
Yeah,
because it appears they decided to bury us in documentation, and they are hoping that we will not go through those annexures. We have had similar experiences before, and another thing they have done is that these documents are not paginated. So if I wanted to, for instance, interrogate the county governor on what this document here is, Gabo shop cash sale, I have no way of being able to reference so that we are able to interrogate these documents. Chair, it is always a red flag when you see these documents here. It was also pointed to gaps in the audit process itself, that maybe the entity does not sit down with the Auditor General to be able to supply this documentation during the time of audit, so that the audit is basically being carried out here. Yeah? So it is quite difficult to follow, Chair, but I want at least you take 1 or 2 minutes to look at those documents in those 2 annexures.
Chair, in addition to documentation, I think it is an offense to not to give documents under Public Audit Act when it is needed by the OAG, and I know we'll make recommendations as such. So, Governor, the referral of Annex 3, you might want to apologize to the committee for trying to mislead us, number one, and number two, you can request that your response on this be struck out until you are meant to refer to Annex 2A and 2B. Because I'm assuming, Chair, when you are writing our reports, we will not walk around with all this documentation for easy referral. So I don't know whether the governor would want to withdraw that and amend it properly, and also apologize to us for trying to mislead this committee.
I think at this point we must. Sorry, Senator Lelego, before.
Chair, I wanted to clarify from the auditor whether, because in his query he has queried that this 12 million was transferred to facilities that are not clustered as level 4 hospitals. So I want him to confirm whether the documents or the